Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Belle again. So today, we're going to talk about Barbara Bush, Harris, Trump, and endorsements. George W. Bush hasn't endorsed anyone in this year's presidential election, but his daughter has. Barbara Bush hasn't just endorsed Vice President Harris, she's out knocking on doors and campaigning for her in Pennsylvania. The 42-year-old said of the Harris-Walz ticket, "I'm hopeful they'll move our country forward and protect women's rights." While surprising, this isn't really a crossover endorsement that many might think it is. Barbara Bush has long identified as independent. At times, she's done things that made people question whether she really was a Republican. She even spoke at a Planned Parenthood event back in 2017. But it's worth remembering that the grandmother she's named after broke with the Republican Party publicly in 2018. The former First Lady was asked if she'd still consider herself a Republican, and she said, quote, "I'd probably say no today." Why? Donald Trump, of course. She kind of blamed him for her heart troubles. She didn't like the direction he was taking the country, and especially didn't like his relationship with Putin. Her granddaughter's endorsement of Harris is being likened to Liz Cheney crossing lines. But there might be something else worth looking at. When you add all of that to Susan Ford Bales, the daughter of former President Ford, and her endorsement of Harris, you start to see a trend. She said, quote, "America cannot regress back to a divisive paradigm of loathing toward one another and disdain for our Constitution. We witnessed on January 6th the horrors of what that looks like, and we can never allow a repeat of that tragedy. The forces that incited it must be held accountable. They can never be in a position to ever do it again." She is a Republican, by the way. And later in her statement, she said, quote, "Vice President Harris and I likely disagree on some policy matters, but her integrity and commitment to those same principles that guided Dad have led me to conclude that Kamala Harris should be elected 47th President of the United States." What's the trend? Aside from a growing list of people who are saying that Trump can't be trusted to follow the Constitution, there's another growing list. Republican women who are sounding the alarm about Trump, more and more of them. Even Megyn Kelly, who said she voted for Trump last week, criticized the Madison Square Garden rally, saying, quote, "It was too brotastic." Okay? It was. You're trying to win an election in which you're hemorrhaging female voters. Maybe when you present in front of hundreds, thousands at least in Madison Square Garden, you clean up the bro talk just a little so you don't alienate women. When a woman who describes herself as unoffendable and is frankly to the right of, well, pretty much everyone, registers how off-putting Trump's campaign is, it might be worth paying attention. While Trump may think the fallout from the overturn of Roe is forgotten, it isn't. And every time he attempts to play into some weird tough guy image, we're all reminded of the stories we're hearing about women being denied access to health care. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.